This productivity hack has saved me so much time at work that I feel like I've won the time lottery. It's got an interesting name, so brace yourself. It's called Touch It Once. Get your mind out of the gutter. And let's talk about how touching it once can lead to getting so much more done in the day that you step away from your desk and can start enjoying life more. Running a creative business is basically you putting in the boring admin work just so you can have fun doing what you love to do creatively. And that boring admin work feels like a chore, and it is, but it doesn't have to take up all your time. Actually, you should be so quick at doing the boring admin work that you have more time to play. But that's rarely the case because you're not using the touch it once rule. How does the touch it once rule work? All right, so let's pretend that you just finished a job and you write the invoice and you print it out. What's the very next thing that you do? Immediately take the invoice and file it away? Or do you let it sit there for a week, then take that huge stack of papers that you've printed out, put it on a pile on the floor until it's time for you to do your taxes? More often than not, you do the latter and let it sit there. Am I right? And that's why you feel overwhelmed all the time. You're not touching it once. Now, the touch it once rule is very easy to understand, but in order for you to implement it correctly, you have to build small systems around it for it to work. So let's go back to the example of you printing out the invoice. The paper is still warm from the printer. You grab the invoice from the printer and touch it once. You can't do anything else until that invoice in your hand is living in its forever home. That's the rule of touch it once. You can't do anything else until that one task is done and it's in its forever home. Its forever home is a folder where you collect all of your invoices in chronological order. The next time you will ever touch that invoice is when you give that folder to your tax accountant. That's how touch it once works. So in order for you to touch that invoice once, you have to create small systems. That small system is a folder with all of your invoices inside of it going in chronological order. Then and only then can you print out the invoice, take it from the printer tray, touch it once, and file it away in the invoices folder. That's the touch it once rule. So let's pretend that you have 5 jobs this week. That means you will have to write and print out 5 invoices. You can also use the touch it once rule when writing those 5 invoices as well. Instead of completing the job, then writing the invoice, then completing the next job and writing the invoice and so on and so forth, and wasting so much time jumping from one thing to the next, rather set aside 1 day per week to write your invoices. For me, I write all of my invoices on Friday at 4. I call it Financial Fridays at 4. I work the entire week to get as many jobs in as I can, complete those jobs, and then tell the clients I will invoice them at the end of the week. And then on Fridays at 4, I go through all of the jobs I've done and write out all my invoices for that week. By doing so, I touch my invoice writing software once and write out all of my invoices in one go on Financials Fridays at 4. Then I print each invoice out in chronological order, take all of those invoices and touch them once and put them in my invoices folder for them to live in their forever home. I just saved myself tons of time with a mundane and repetitive task by batching it all together at one set time slot in my work week and touch it once with Financial Fridays at 4. Now, the touch it once rule can be applied to anything in your business, from setting an appointment with a client via email to organizing a project on your computer. But you first need to look at what isn't organized and figure out that small system. Then, once that small system is in place, then you can use the touch it once rule. And the more you use the touch it once rule, the quicker and more gracefully you'll get through your workday without running around like a chicken with its head cut off because you can't find X, Y, and Z. And there you have it, the touch it once rule. Get your mind out of the gutter. Now it's your turn. Take action now. What one thing can you create a small system around in your creative freelance business where once it's set up, all you have to do is touch it once? Could it be my example of writing an invoice and touching it once? Or what about getting content from a client, creating a folder on your computer, dragging and dropping all that content into that folder so it's all organized, and touching it once? What boring and mundane tasks do you have in your creative freelance business that annoy you to no end and that you wish you could get done faster? 9 times out of 10, that boring and mundane task could benefit from the touch it once rule. So give it a go and make it work for you. Now, this touch it once rule is one of my many tips and tricks I dish out in my 5-day training, Boost Your Productivity. Inside this training, you'll chart where you are now with your life in weeks workbook and the Find Your Freedom worksheet. You'll go into detail by writing out a typical day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed to see what habits, good and bad, you're already doing. You'll optimize your morning and evening routines as the bookends of your day to set each day up for success. You'll upgrade your workday by organizing your desk for maximum productivity and elevating the things you really need for your business. And you'll set in stone healthy boundaries that solidify the most productivity in your schedule, like how often you check your emails or when you write your invoices, and only do the things in your business that bring in money. Now, all 5 videos are pre-recorded so you can dive in right now. And we have a community group where you can ask your questions, get my answers, and learn how to be more productive along like-minded creatives just like you. So, Do you want in? Click the button below to join in on my 5-day class, Boost Your Productivity. In only 5 days, you can turn years of procrastination, bad habits, and your life around for the oh so good. I look forward to welcoming you on the other side. And there you have it, the touch it once rule. Take action on it and see how it can gracefully get you through your workday so you can finish things on time or even earlier so you can go and enjoy your life. And join me in my 5-day training, Boost Your Productivity, to get even more quick tips on how to get through your workday more efficiently and have more time off at the end of the day. Thanks for watching, take care, and have a great day.